Well, hello from Jerusalem, everyone. Some of my friends have been asking me, so what's happening in Jerusalem? Well, okay, so the restrictions are getting tighter and tighter. We are not permitted to even gather outside, even for prayer or religious reasons anymore. And on Passover, even if you are a blood family, family by blood, you can only be two in a household gathering for Passover, which is so unprecedented. But we each stand before the Lord, and we each have to answer to God. So, in everything in our lives. So, I want to share with you. So, I was outside walking along the tracks, and it is so crazy because I bumped into a guy who runs a hostel. He's Ethiopian, and his wife is probably from Holland. I met them 11 years ago, and they're little kids. And we were talking about how important it is to exercise. We know spiritual exercise is important, but physical exercise is really important too. And it's such a crazy, crazy time. And the impact of how crazy it is really hits you when you go outside and nobody's out there. But along the tracks, which are all along that go all the way to Malka in Jerusalem, and in the other direction towards the city, there are people who are playing with their kids and their families and walking their dogs, few and far between. So it's crazy what's happening to us, but what I want to talk to you about is keep your praise on. The enemy would love to kill us all. The devil would love to wipe us out. That's a fact. That is a fact. And I always say the energy in Jerusalem is so awesome. It's like you feel like you want to leap and you want to fly, you want to run. It's this great feeling of expectation in a great way. It's awesome energy. Well, that is not what I'm feeling outside these days. I'm feeling this like lethargy. It's like a deaf and dumb spirit I feel has come over the land. And it's come through. I feel the gateway is fear. But the more and more restrictions that are put on us, the more difficult it is because we're not. I'll tell you, I was up in the middle of the night last night. I haven't slept the past 4 nights. And really crying out to God. But there's something the Lord showed me. We're not hugging, right? We're standing our 2 meters away from each other. And we're not hugging. And I think, first of all, we need touch. But we're not touching each other because of the virus. And I really think that affects us. Human beings need to be touched, and we're not touching each other. And I really feel that is affecting us. I have been so wound up at night, and I feel like it's because I'm in Jerusalem, first of all, which is like no other place spiritually. And I'm a watchman, and most of us that are here are watchmen on the wall. And it's been hard for me to go to sleep. Eventually I fall asleep, but I tell you, last night the anxiety was great. And we have to be careful because when the enemy shoots things into our mind, when we're alone, especially when we're in bed and we're in bed alone, we're single, right? We hear it in the first person, I am. We don't hear it as you are, like accusatory. So I am sick. I have the virus. I have the flu. I. And that's the sneakiness of the enemy because it's in the first person and we have to reject that. So I went through a terrible time last night. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Joy does come in the morning. And the only reason I canceled my concert is because my government has now said that we cannot gather, not even for prayer. And so I know that I did everything I could to have my concert. But when my government laid down the laws, and in the sight of God, I respect the government over me, I realized, okay, I have to cancel it now because we're not allowed to have gatherings at all. But I know that I did everything that I needed to do to have it. So my conscience is clear before God. We all stand before God, so let's have clear consciences no matter what it has to do with. Keep your praise on today. What I want to talk to you about is praise, because if you allow the enemy to discourage you and cause you to look down at your problems and down at what's going on, the restrictions and all of that, and you stop praising, you will be defeated. If you stop praising God, you will be defeated. And I know you don't want to be defeated, and neither do I. I need to keep my praise on every day. And we're in a battle. This is no joke. We are in a spiritual battle, and it's been turned up way, way up. Keep your praise on. Keep the song going like never before. Keep your dance going, you dancers out there. However you are made and tailored by God, worship him in the way that he's made you. In the name of Yeshua, God bless you from the city of rejoicing. Yerushalayim and Chag Pesach Sameach.